All right. Ready for prime time. What we got? Gimme. Okay, lesson 74. There is no will but God's. I love this lesson. The idea for today can be regarded, hi Jimmy. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought towards which all of our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have accepted this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible is gone. Peace has replaced a strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. There is great peace in today's idea, and exercises for today are directed towards finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. How beautiful is that? Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods today by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination, to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts, such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's will. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area which seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Recognize the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved, and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. After you've cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness rather than a feeling of drowsiness or enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself merely slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain to refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. In the shorter practice periods, which should be undertaken regularly and at predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today. There is no will but God's. Okay, let's see what Magdalene has to say to us this morning. Greetings, beloveds. The will of God is what was extended when Christ was created. The mind of God willed Christ into existence. And in that moment of creation, all beings were also extended the will of God, the mind of God, the heart of God. And as such, each being truly manifests, creates with that same will. God's will and our will are indeed one and the same. Therefore, there is no will but God's. Understand, beloved ones, that when each of us, as an aspect of this greater wholeness that is the oneness, that is Source itself, that makes up the Christed beingness, the Christed mind, as each of us enact our individual aspects of will, what we are doing, beloved ones, is we are interacting with the very field of creation and manifestation. As such, we allow ourselves the license or the liberty to create as God creates. When this creating is done with love, when this creating is done with happiness, with joy, with compassion, with kindness, we bring forth the true will of God, which is to experience love. When we create, beloved ones, when we will from the aspect of us that is ego bound, that believes in war, that believes in retribution, that believes in revenge, we have allowed ourselves, beloved ones, to step away from the purity that God's will is. And when you practice today, and when you bring your consciousness to understand that indeed your will is in alignment with God's will, it brings you immediate peace. All of the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions that have disturbed you, all of the grievances that you have held, all of the lies that you have told yourself, all of the seeming inaccuracies fall to the wayside, because all that God truly ever willed was peace for his sons. All peace and love and joy, compassion, true happiness. So when you allow yourselves, beloved ones, to be caught in this miasma of pain, guilt, and shame, understand that you are looking in the wrong place. It is merely that simple. When you allow your heart to connect to the divine heart of compassion and love that the Creator has granted to each being, you are once again pointing towards your true north, if you will. The thoughts that you have of conflict, the thoughts that you have that create distance, are a place where you have fallen out of communication. You've fallen out of love with yourself. Forgiveness, beloveds, is the key to unlock this. For when you forgive yourself and you forgive another. What you have done is you have reconnected the hearts. It is the distance between the hearts that causes the pain, that sense of separation, beloved ones. So allow yourself to come today into the joy of knowing that your will is indeed aligned with the will of God, for there is no will but God's. And in your attempt to create as God has created, you have merely forgotten the truth of you, and the truth of your beloveds, truth of all of creation. Allow yourself today to remember. Allow yourself today to see the truth of you in, as, and through every moment of creation. If you have fights with the people with whom you work, if you have fights with the people with whom you live, allow yourself immediately, beloved ones, to forgive. If you have fights and conflict within yourself, if you have fears about money, if you have fears about growing old, about your appearance, about the state of the world, about pandemics and diseases, if you have fears about the political regime, if you have fears about the weather and the land, allow yourself, beloveds, today to know that all of this was an illusion that was created by the mind, that everything is as it should be, as it was meant to be. For this is the creation of truth and of light and of love. So allow yourself, beloved ones, to come to see the truth in all things, to come to feel your heart connected to all beings. And know that there is only one path for you to follow ultimately. It is the path that we all follow, and that is back to the kingdom, to truth. So, with your desire, which is what brings you here, know that your intention is indeed recognized. The part that is now incumbent upon you, beloved ones, is to allow yourselves to direct your attention and your will to be that which is in alignment with all that is, and that is God. For when you know that there is no will except God's, you will understand that your will is one and the same. And when you will God's will, you have placed yourself back on the path of salvation. You have found your way back to your holiness and to your divinity, and all else will fall away. The clouds will clear from the sky, and you will indeed see the truth of you in all circumstances. And you will see the truth of all beings with whom you encounter yourself in each situation. You will be able to look upon another and say, I see that our will is one and the same. I see that God loves both of us. I see that we were both created in divinity and in love. And then you will begin to see the connection. You will begin to see the place where your hearts reach out and touch another. And in that divinity, you find home, which you have longed for. It is a yearning within you, beloved ones, for you to return back home where you never left. There is no place like home. There is a beautiful movie, The Wizard of Oz, and she goes on a fantastical journey to a parallel universe. And then she finds her way back to love by vanquishing the darkness and the evil. Allow yourself this journey today, beloved ones. Know that we are always with you for guidance. We love you, and we will speak with you again. Greetings. Mm. Mm. Love that woman. Thank you all so much for being here, everybody. I love you, and I will speak with you again tomorrow.